begin. Can I have the first question, please? Okay, Krishnan, you can go first.
Good afternoon, coach. Good afternoon, Chanjo.
Hello, Krishnan.
Hi, coach. So my question is to you, last time around when Diaz was suspended, we went for Luna played as a striker, and we went for a different kind of system. But this time again, Diaz is suspended. So are you looking to put Luna as a second striker, or like you are looking to other options?
We are looking again for a different type and strike. So tomorrow we'll try to explore some other things, and we'll try to again have offensive side, and then we'll see. Hoping for the best. So we have enough players.
Yeah.
Whoever is missing, whoever is not with us, especially due to injuries or suspensions. So no problem. We have enough players with quality who can be there on the pitch. So as a coach, it makes me happy.
Okay, so adding to that, Rahul was on the bench for last 3 matches. He didn't came on. So how is he? Is he fit enough, or can he start, or is he fit enough for coming from the bench again?
Well, actually, one of those games we also aligned 3 goalkeepers on the bench because we didn't have enough players due to suspension and the injuries. So actually, we had to put 3 goalkeepers and Raul also on the bench in order to have 15 players available for the game. From the other side, looking his improvement of medical staff and improvement in his work, last game also was not, let's say, favorable for himself after such a long injury to let him come in immediately in that type of intensity. So we won't make stupid things with him because his injury is in a final part of evaluation where we have to prepare those things also for long term, and certainly we won't be so stupid and lose any player now with that kind of decision again on the long term. So we have to be very careful with that. So far he's working good, he's preparing good, and we'll see now if in the next games he'll get this playing time. We have to be very careful.
Okay, coach. One more update regarding. Can you tell me about Ruiva? Has he joined the training, or is he still in quarantine?
Who? Hormi?
Hormi.
Yes, Hormi joined the training with a nice mask. We liked it so much, and it looks pretty. So he joined the training. He's still kind of soft quarantine, but he can come and train with us. So he didn't lose a lot of playing rhythm. Of course, surgery was something unpleasant, but immediately after that he was working also with the special program, and he's now with us on the pitch. So we could expect seeing how it evolves, seeing him also in the last games of the competition.
Okay, thank you, coach. Thank you, Chandu. All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, Krishnan.
Thank you, Krishnan. Can we have Ashwati?
Good afternoon, coach. Good afternoon, Chandu.
Hello, Ashwati.
I'm Ashwati from Halfway Football. I hope both of you are doing well. Can I ask you the player first?
Yes.
Hi, Chandu.
Hi.
So you have played for many Indian clubs so far. So how do you, explain your experience with Kerala Blasters so far, comparing to the teams you played with in India?
So this year, I think I'm playing in India for for the fifth year, and I'm very honored to sign in the Kerala with a huge fan base, and I'm getting lots of support from the fans, and I'm very happy to play from the Kerala Blaster.
Thank you, Chandu. Hi, coach.
Hello, Ashwati.
Hyderabad FC are absolutely cruising towards the league title. So what are your thoughts on them and expectations on tomorrow's match?
Well, it's another match, another game in a row, especially in such a short-term competition where the games are just coming on and on. So it's another game on the schedule that we have to face, another opponent that we have to play against, and that's all. So it's one of the best teams of the league so far. They're first on the table with the reason. So that's a team working with the consistency, with the process, and that's they deserve to be on top of the table for the moment. So we will face them now and again tomorrow for the second time this season. Hoping that we'll play a good game. We'll be concentrating because against one of the best teams of the league, you have to be 95 minutes focused, organized, trying to explore and use their weak points and trying to use our strong points, of course, to score goals. So I expect one tough game, physically tough game with lots of runnings, lots of duels. Both teams wanting to win, both teams wanting to, let's say, secure the spot in on the ranking. So a football game with the stake that every player likes to play. So nothing more than that. Another game going towards the end of the competition. So that's it.
Coach, one more question. Since Sandeep is suspended, can we expect Nishu to start? Is he fit enough?
No, he is not fit enough, and he will not be participating in tomorrow's game.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Chincho. All the best for the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwati. Can we have Basil's question, please?
Thank you, Rose. This is Basil from Zilis. Hi, Coach. Hi, Sancho.
Hello, Beth.
Hi. Let me start with Coach. Sipovic came as substitute against Northeast and considered last-minute goal. And this exact same thing happened against our last match at KBFC. So do you think substituting Bijoy was a wrong decision, or more like substituting a defender to bring fresh legs during the dying times of the game?
Well, we had to react in those moments with that substitution because we needed fresh legs, and our young defender Bijoy was suffering with a kind of cramps and reactions. So we didn't want to take risk because we need those guys till the end of the competition, and leaving him maybe till the end in those circumstances would provoke even worst injury. So, and we wanted to avoid that. So that's why we brought fresh legs. And then mentioning these details, it happens that maybe if you see like statistics after those kind of things that we were conceding goals, but it's nothing connected with that. I think that's just the moment that in the last seconds, I think that Sipo was there in the block. Even if he didn't touch that ball, the ball would be going centrally to Gil. But anyway, this thing in football they happen. So we stay positive with those things. We have to continue, and that's all. So we wanted to avoid worst injury with the young Bijoy, and we wanted fresh legs on the pitch. That's all.
Yeah, you're right. And when Albino got injured, we signed a replacement. But when Rahul got injured, there were no replacement at all. So in general, you think we didn't use January transfer window wisely, or is it like we had some targets, but during the time, but we just couldn't reach to an agreement?
We had some targets, but even players that we wanted in that moment, they were not comfortable with coming to our team, seeing that in that period we had like 25 and plus positive cases, and it was not easy to invite and say to someone, you know what, come and sign with us, but we have 25 and more cases positive, so if you come and sign with us, go in the quarantine 15 days, and then if you never had COVID, so probably most probably you will get it. So it was not easy to invite them and to sign them because many of them and most of the teams were in isolation and quarantine those moments. And then we had some targets, and some of those players maybe they choose to stay in their teams, and then we just decided, we are in a full pandemic period now again with many cases, so let's just go through it and we'll see for the next period. So it was not easy. It was not easy to convince people. It was not easy to invite someone, just like, you know, the circumstances were weird, you know, and I understand those players saying that they were afraid and saying, you know what, I'm afraid and I don't want to risk those things. So we understood those moments. So that was it.
Yeah. Thank you, coach.
Thank you.
Hi, Shinjo. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
So we all are waiting for your very first goal for KBFC. So when will that happen?
Even I'm waiting for like
But he has goal
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was
Can we expect that tomorrow itself?
yeah, you can expect like anytime, like whenever like I get into the pitch, because like my being a striker is always to score a goal. So like in every game, my goal is always like to get a goal for the team. You can expect anytime.
All right. Thank you so much for both of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Basil. Can I have Arun's question, please?
Yeah, thank you, Rose. Hi, coach. How are you doing?
Good, everything all right, Arun? Hi.
Yeah, thank you. Coach, my question is, in the last game, of course, you're winning clearly, and they were down to 10 men. But during those last few moments, of course, there was a lengthy added time given at the end of the match, 7 minutes, it's quite lengthy. And when your team, when they were on the offensive naturally, your team got a lot of counterattacks and fast breaks. And what we saw was your team were trying to score from those opportunities. In hindsight, do you think maybe a bit of time wasting would have helped a lot? You know, someone trying to fire, like Prashant, someone trying to find Jorge in between. Instead of that, maybe he could have hugged the corner flag and maybe wasted a little more time. Do you think, in hindsight, your players would do a little by being a more pragmatic rather than just in such situations, just to do a little more time wasting? Do you think that would have been a better option?
Yeah, now from this point, yeah, maybe. But you know, when you are a competitor, when you want to compete and you want to score goals, especially when you are a young player, as some of our players, you want to go and score goals. And I think that we had a couple of very good chances at the end that we could have scored more goals, and it could have been easy 3-1 or 4-1, easy. And then in the last moments, with it's within the second when the player who gets the ball has to decide what he will do with the ball. So then making a pass or shooting or going, like you said, going in the corner, wasting time, these are the decisions that the players have to make. So actually, when you are also, imagine during one game where there are also fans and you can shout, you can call, nobody can hear you. So this is about players' lucidity and players' quality, what they will decide and what they will do with the ball. Again, I was mentioning in the previous, press conferences and interviews that me as a coach, I would never dare to tell the player what to do with the ball the moment he has the ball on the pitch, because it's a matter of seconds, what the lucidity and the quality they possess will allow them to do on the pitch. So these kind of things they have to decide themselves in those moments, especially when we are close to an end, or in these chances where you have to show that quality and score goals. I'm very sorry, for example, for that last post of young Barreto when he shot on the post. So actually, if he had scored today, we would have a completely different topic. But anyway, that's football. So when you have those chances, you don't, let's say, make them gold for you and score goals. Then at the other side, it could be opposite, and after red card they get in the 93rd minute, in last these moments. Even we had the chance after that, I think, so these moments you have to use, you have to use with quality, but when you are at the end of your force, freshness and everything, so these things happen. So with all these things we just have to continue, and because now on the short term the games are just coming on, so we don't have time to, discuss more than needed about, so we just have to move on, and there are new games coming on, we have to play them, and that's it.
All right, Coach. I just have one final question.
Yes.
It's stepping away from tomorrow's game. It's a general thing. I know you are someone who is active on social media, but not on match days naturally. And of course, all your players are on social media. They use Instagram, Twitter, everything. So we see what we see these days is, of course, because fans are not able to be in the stadiums, they take to the social media platforms to express their opinions. You know, a lot of post-match debates, a lot of interactions happen on social media, especially in Twitter, what we are seeing. So after the last match, there was a lot of things that happened. You know, things got boiled over. One of your former players, a former club captain, got involved into an issue. And my question is, you know, how much it's easy for players to get distracted by these kind of things. You know, they could get upset by a comment made by a fan or from a former player or a rival teammate. So, is there a general policy that you have at the club? Like you say, tell your players don't be on social media, or do you give them the freedom? How do you handle that situation? The social media thing, it could get to your head, right? So, how do you handle the situation?
Well, we have to admit, to be honest, social medias are one of the important parts of our lives today. They are the part, inevitable part of our lives today. And many people today express themselves on social media. Then, you know, all the players, you know, all the people, you have a freedom to use them, but there are also certain limits and certain rules that how you can use them, why you have to use them, and all these kind of things. Personally, I'm the guy who grew up without internet. You know, and I'm with the old-fashioned, old-school guy, and with the social media, they can be very useful tool today. Uh, many of, let's say, many people around the world, they use them. You know, some of mentioned social media today. You know, you can watch them as a big toilet wall, or where everybody can write anything he wants, or use them for certain things. But that's a tool. That's a tool today. And then some players speaking about, playing games, during the games, after the games, there are emotions, there are reactions, there are things that some of the players might say or might not say, and then it goes viral. It goes just online, and then it provokes and it creates positive or negative things around the image of a certain person. So then, as a grown-up person, you have to know to use them correctly. You have to know to use them with a reason. If you announce certain things, that you have to announce with a reason. If you are about to post some things, that you are about to post with a reason. So, of course, we will never ban, or we will never tell our players or anyone in our club not to use them. But as a grown-up person, they have to be responsible when they use them, when they say certain things, when they post certain things. They must know that there are, responsibilities, circumstances, and maybe some reactions that it can provoke or not provoke later on. So today, personally, I look at social media again as a tool that you can read certain things, that you can see certain things, that you can express yourself in a way that, okay, to share your opinion. But there are many good parts of it. There are bad parts where anyone can express himself today, sharing an opinion and having the same right to share an opinion like a Nobel Prize winner, which is not normal. So then today you can read so many stupid things for some people, and it affects many people around. But I don't look at those things personally, because if I want to get affected or influenced personally, so I have to know that person personally. But anyway, everybody can use it. You just have to be, let's say, intelligent enough and clever enough to know to use them the way you want to use them, to share things, to share positive energy, positive vibe, and that's all. So that's how I look at it. So everybody has to use it in a positive way, in a correct way, to make everything around us better. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. And Rose, if I may have one final question, is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine, Arun.
Thank you, Coach. I'll just go and finish with one final question. Just
Yeah.
just adding on to this what you just said. I would like to know your opinion on women's football, the development of women's football. I know it's not related to your club or the league in general, but just because you come from a different culture, quite different from ours, our Indian culture. So I'm just curious to know about how it's over there, because over here, in normal parlance, people who don't follow the game much, they see it. There's a crude way of looking at game. They say like it's they talk about how football is being a masculine sport, how football or anything to do with aggression or pace or a lot of skill involved. They call it as a masculine sport. They kind of look down upon women taking the sport, which is a very crude thing in any culture. But we see a lot of that in Indian culture, not now among youngsters, but mostly in the older generation. So I'm just curious to know about how your culture, your countrymen, your people, they look at women's sport in general and women's football in general. And what's your opinion on it, if it's okay to answer?
Of course. Well, I
Thank
think that the world is based on it to make this environment and the world better every day. The world is something and that stays to younger generations, and then the older generation, they have to build up the environment around the world for a younger generation to have better conditions of everything, every possible aspect that maybe older generations had in the past. So speaking about women's sport, I think that especially women's football is one of the best things that happened in a football, because development of certain culture worldwide gives possibility for equal rights. And actually in many countries, and also in my country and where I live in Belgium, the women's football is very developed. The league, the national teams, and of course when you see that level improving day by day, and federations and clubs investing in also women's football, that's a great thing. That's a great thing, and I'm a big supporter of that. Actually in one of my previous clubs that I coached in Belgium, that club has really good women's team playing on a level of Champions League, and personally I was going to watch those games, like against Manchester City or some German clubs, and it was pleasure to watch those games as national teams. And I think that women's football has to be developed in all parts of the world, of course, depending on culture, depending on whatever opinion is. But I think that that's one of the most beautiful things that happened around the world, because everybody must have a right to play sport. Everybody must have a right to especially play football, because it's a nice game, it's a worldwide game, and anybody can participate, from youngsters till olders, men, women, so everybody. I'm a big supporter of it.
Oh, thank you, Coach. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, Arun. Can we have the last question from Sayantan, please?
Yeah. Hello, Coach. This is Shantan from Sportskeeda.
Hey,
I
Shaitan.
don't know if this has been. This is Shantan from Sportskeeda. I don't know if this has been already asked, but Jorge Pereira Diaz was red carded in the last game, so he will be suspended for the next game. Now, how does that influence your attacking changes for the upcoming match?
Well, it's one player that we are missing, and we have enough players who can play, so no problem. No problem. So the players who are getting playing time now and chance to score goals, to participate, it's a nice thing. For them it's an excellent thing to show themselves. So that's all. In the football squad, when you have 20-25 players, that's how it goes. You have players who are starting 11, and then the process. But I'm very sorry that on a short-term competition like ISL is on a 3.5 months, that we don't have a longer period where all the players can get playing time, many games that they can play, because it's different. It's different in ISL, and I'm very sorry that sometimes some players who deserve even more to play, they don't get those chances, especially with the foreign rules. But like we said, whoever is suspended, whoever is injured, we'll continue with other players that we have, and that's it.
Coach, I had another last question that, this year we have seen across teams that there is a sense of family more so than ever. Everyone feels very connected to their teams and every player feels very connected. So is this something that the coaches have been trying, especially so during the COVID times, given how the situation is with the bio bubble and everything?
I think it is something that just reflected automatically, seeing that we are now second year in a row in the bubble, and which is weird, which is hard, which is difficult. I think that's why you see more and more frustration all around ISL, because everybody is on its limits, and it's not a nice feeling being in the bubble, living in the bubble, and when you are all the time together for months, then you create kind of family environment, and then mutual respect, among each other, being together every day, eating together, training together. So these kind of things create those environments, and then as a team, when you pick up and when you have correct characters and mentality within your team, it just creates automatically. And of course, as a coaching staff, you want to have that kind of environment, because this is the energy you need to build up positive results.
Thank you, Coach, and all the very best for the next game.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I guess we can wrap today's PC. So thank you, Coach, and thank you, Chencho, for joining. Thank you all. Good luck for tomorrow's match.
Thank you, Rose.